I present to you the weird chickens. Good morning, weird chickens.
I have two types of chickens on my farm. I have regular chickens and I have weird chickens. The thing about the weird chickens is they're weird.
Now, when it comes to the weird chickens are really just for funsies. They are delicate, they require a little bit more protection, which is why they're actually even in this little fenced-in paddock to begin with. Not that I'm saying that he would do it, but Pablo Barncat always looks at them a little bit hungrily. And if I were to have a weird chicken go head-to-head with Pablo Barncat, I would definitely put my money on Pablo Barncat. Hey, sweetie, can I coax you out? Huh? She's a little bit slow and a little bit shy. The upside is she's really easy to handle. Yeah, so she's a nice pure white silky right here. You know, Toby Dog, she looks a lot like you. Is she a Toby Dog chicken? Oh, looks like we got a weird chicken egg. Hey, Toby Dog, since I'm gonna be carrying around this egg all morning, I'm gonna share it with you. So we have Rosie, we have Rosie's daughter, we have Captain Janeway, and then we have this new gal who is a lavender silky. I actually just moved them into a brand new yard over here. And so as you can see, we have this new lavender silky cross who's wandering here in the grass. And then we have this frizzle feathered rooster who you might have just heard cawing a moment ago. And at certain times, I've actually been like, you know what? I'm swearing off the weird chickens. I don't want to have weird chickens. I'm getting rid of them because they're just a waste of my time. But the reality is not everything with my farm needs to make money, and not everything with my farm needs to be a part of a business venture. And so I've actually grown to really enjoy the weird personalities and weird looks of my weird chickens. And my plan for them is, over the course of the summer, I'll be breeding weird chickens just for the heck of it. With a fresh new rooster as well as some interesting genetics, I think it should make for some fun baby birds. The other really nice thing about these weird, silky, bantam-ish type chickens is they make for really good moms. They go broody very easily, they will sit on a nest very well, and so the odds of them hatching out some baby birds are high. For the last couple of years, Rosie, who's actually our oldest weird chicken, she's hatched out a couple of different clutches of eggs and done a really good job with them. Last year, she hatched 5 birds. 1 of them died young, 3 of them were roosters, and then the other one, actually you can see here, it's cool too, because she has like the same coloring as Rosie, except because her dad was a silky, she's got a different feathering. So she's got like what's known as satin, which is like half like bantam feathers, like regular normal chicken feathers, and half silky feathers. So when I say silky feathers too, I mean like her, she's pure silky. And what's interesting is if you look at a silky feather under the microscope, it looks drastically different than a chicken feather.
Now the important thing to note about this chicken feather is the chicken in question is half silky. And so that means you can see some of that silky feathering show up in the feather itself.
So yes, our farm now has some new weird chickens, but I think the real question is, what are we gonna call them? As you guys know, I name pretty much all the animals on the farm, but one of the few exceptions is that my wife Allison has the naming authority for all of the weird chickens, and so she's the one who selects the chicken names. I can make suggestions, you guys can make suggestions, but ultimately the decision rests with Allison. Welcome to your new home.
Particularly like this rooster. He's got that frizzle fry feather look, like he's like permanently wet. But that's just how he is. And so he'll be breeding with all 5 of these girls. Like, I'll be curious to see what a cross between that guy and Captain Janeway is gonna look like.
Could make for a very interesting bird. Now, for folks wondering about the weird chicken house that I introduced a few videos ago, I continue to be a very big fan of it. In fact, I only have 2 regrets about it, and both of those are my fault.
Number 1, the company that makes this, they actually also offer like a wheel kit, and it's way better than what I just sort of hacked together here myself.
I just had some spare parts lying around the farm. The other thing is they actually sell like an automatic door that opens and closes with the sun, which I think would be super, super useful. I have one for my other chicken coop, and yeah, I probably will bite the bullet and buy both the wheel kit and the doors because they're just good inventions and improvements. But overall, this thing has been easy to keep clean. It's been easy to move around. I'm a huge fan of it. Now, one thing I had mentioned in a previous video was that I wanted to cover the side of the weird chicken coop with a whole bunch of stickers. And so I put the call out to you guys saying, hey, can you send me some stickers? And I've gotten so many stickers. I know I haven't even gone through all the envelopes yet, but I did want to start sticking them here on the side of the weird chicken coop. Let me just get this dry. It was rainy last night. My plan is for this to just be a constantly updating space. And so, you know, the first sets of chicken stickers that go up will go up, and then I'll probably get more, and I'll keep putting more. And by the way, this is like a trade. If you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to Goldshaw Farm, P.O. Box 225, Peacham, Vermont, 05862, in that self-addressed stamped envelope, I will send you one of my stickers in return. So it's like we're sticker trading. You see, back in the day in the alternative comics, punk rock, zine scene that I was a huge part of as a kid, trading stickers was like a very big thing. And so I'm excited to be able to trade stickers with you guys. But just remember, send me the self-addressed stamped envelope. I can't send you guys stickers back if you don't send me that envelope with your address on it and a stamp. But yes, let's see what the first batch of stickers has produced, because there's a lot of them. And so I do want to just say a special shout out and thank you to Jamie, Michaela, Rusty, Dan, Cheryl Lynn and Mika, Tucker and Matt, Jamie
Brian,
again,
Sandy
the Manili
and Andy,
family,
Nicole,
Leanne,
Emily,
Melissa.
Mari.
I think I need to get a tattoo from these guys. They're not too far over in Randolph. And like I said, this isn't even all of them. These were just up to the envelopes I opened up to yesterday morning. I got a whole bunch more in the mail yesterday afternoon. And so I'll keep sticking them on the house. You guys keep sending them. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, there we go. I am loving that. Now the goal is just to get this thing entirely plastered with stickers, and I think we'll be in business. And yes, once I run out of room, I'll just keep putting new stickers on top of old stickers. Of course, by the way, you guys might be wondering about this one. So somebody sent me, so it could spell Z-E-N, so like Zen, like weird chicken moment is Zen, but I think I left the N inside, so stay tuned. A viewer called Sarah actually sent us this collection of chicken toys. Now, in past videos, I've come down pretty hard on chicken toys, saying that chickens don't need any sort of enrichment whatsoever. And when Sarah sent them to me, she clearly addressed them to the Moron brothers, who are two of our roosters up on the top of the hill. But this whole collection of toys seems like so much fun, and since the weird chickens are for fun, it felt like it was more appropriate to put them down here. Maybe I'll save one or two of these toys for the Moron brothers. So let's see, what do we got? We got like a little xylophone type dealie. Oh, this is a chicken swing. Chicken hammock, chicken ladder, pecking post, or a scratching post, I guess. Let's try setting a couple of these up. What do you think, girl? Can you test this out? A little too bouncy? All right, I'll leave the weird chickens to their devices and we'll see if they play with them. I actually do have some real farm work we gotta do. And probably the first task I'm gonna have to deal with is the ducks sound like they're about to riot right now, so I gotta go feed the ducks and get them fresh water. I gotta talk to you about something new. I've got a new invention that I think might help my watering problems with the ducks and geese. And invention is kind of a grandiose term. So what I've done is I've taken this 35-gallon water tank, I painted it black, and I strapped it to an old cart that I had just kicking around the farm. But the probably more interesting part about all of this is I've constructed this thing. So about a year or so ago back, a viewer by the name of Alexandra, she suggested these waterfowl drinking cups. And so they're little cups that fill up with water. And so I'm wondering if this is actually a better way to conserve water with my ducks and geese, as well as keep them from making such a mess, as well as preventing them from damaging my pasture as much. And so I went on the internet, I ordered a couple of these things, and I spent, I don't know, an hour yesterday afternoon tinkering around trying to figure out how to put it all together. And so now I think I have a system where I can connect these things to the water container that I have. Maybe this becomes a new, better, more mobile way of watering my birds. At first I wanted a design where like this part was built onto the cart, but I had such trouble engineering that component of it that I feel like I'm probably better off making just these mobile mounts to hold it. I don't know, let's see if this even works. This could be a disaster. The idea with the chain was it'd be an easy way to level the water, because these cups need to stay roughly level. And I just got a new quick connect coupler. So now I can just swap the heifer water line for the duck water line. And then I just can run this hose right into here to fill up the reservoir. It'll obviously take a couple minutes for the reservoir to fill up, but once that's full, I will give it a go and we'll see how this works. First, let's feed the birds. I bet the ducks are following me. Oh yeah, they're following me, all right. So this was like tall grass just yesterday, and now they've flattened this whole area down. I'm gonna move their feed dishes over on this side. Some of you might be wondering why I don't have like just one big feeder and I keep it rationed in this blue trash barrel. The reality is, if I didn't do it this way, they would just eat all the food and they would be overfed and they'd be foraging less. And so I find this is a more effective way to ration. All right, this seems pretty much full. Now let's open up this gasket here. I'm just gonna let the water flow right through. That's kind of interesting. It seems like this cup is filling up quite nicely. This cup is dripping from up by the hose. This one's filling up pretty well. This one looks bone dry, so I don't know. We've got some testers coming down the hill now after getting their breakfast, so let's give them a chance to test this one out. So it seems like everybody is passing on the new design. This might be a failed design attempt. I think, Toby, I'm gonna have to go do the cow chores and we'll come back in and check and see how they're doing, okay? You wanna stay here with the ducks and geese while Abby and I go do cattle? Yeah? Okay. Since I already have the side-by-side out, I might as well take it up to the top of the pasture. But it's not nearly as fun a way to travel up to the top as my bike, that's for sure. And yes, today is just kind of a dreary weather day. It's like, I don't know, 40 degrees and drizzly, which is just not a fun day to be out here. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So last night I came up here at around 9 o'clock to move my chicken coop to a new spot. And I got up to the top of the pasture here, and who did I see standing right here? But none other than the combination of Joey Ramone and Amanda Hugginkiss. Now Joey Ramone, he is our steer. He has been like paired up with Randy Macho Man Savage, our bull. And like I've been keeping the two of them up here but separate from everybody else because I want to just wait another week or two before I introduce my bull for breeding. And then Amanda Hugginkiss is one of our cows. She's like the newest to the herd and she's still working out the kinks on how to be a good grazing animal. And anyway, the two of them were loose in the pasture just running free outside of any of my electric polywire fences, which is most definitely not the thing you want to see at 9 o'clock at night when you're just trying to close up shop and call it a day and move on and maybe have a little relaxing time at home with your wife and watch an episode of Ted Lasso or something. And so I spent darn near 30 minutes chasing both Joey Ramone and Amanda Hugginkiss back into a paddock. Unfortunately, I couldn't get Joey Ramone back in here with Macho Man, so now he's over there with the cows. There's really no issue with him being introduced to the cows. I mean, number one, they know him. In fact, he was even reunited with his mother Annabelle last night. But the downside is, Macho Man is all alone here this morning, so I gotta figure out what to do. How you doing? You're in this great big pasture and you're all by yourself. I'm sorry, pal. How'd you get poop all over yourself? What were you doing? Were you rolling in your poops? He is such a sweet bull. I will probably try to get Joey Ramone to come back here today. I don't want to leave Macho Man here alone, but I also might just move Macho Man over there because, you know, as you guys have seen, I can walk Macho Man like a dog and bring him over there, no problem. Joey Ramone is a little bit more rambunctious, so I gotta figure that one out. This is all just another example of farm problems. Of course, he's not totally alone. He's got the heifer girls in the next paddock over, and they've been yelling at each other back and forth over the last couple of hours. I heard him this morning as I was doing all the chicken chores. Come here, Bonnie. Come here, Belinda. How are you girls doing? You like that handsome boy across the way? Well, you're a little too young for him, but next year I think you guys are gonna get to know each other really, really well. I think this is gonna be a good pairing here, or I guess I should say trio. Okay, chickens, here I come. I just had to refill your feeder, so take it easy. I got 50 pounds of fresh feed ready to go for you. Yes, the chickens are in their new spot. You'll notice actually, I have a separate energizer. So this is another solar energizer that I have set up here. It's very low voltage. It's meant to really keep the chickens in and maybe keep the Abbies out if I need to. I don't have this fence connected up to my main fence because one of the things I've found is this chicken wire just drains the heck out of the power of your fence. Number one, you just have so much likelihood of contact with the ground and the grass, and that's gonna short things out and reduce your power. And then number two, there's just a lot of wire that goes into one of these fences. And so I'm opting to just use this tiny little guy here that's portable. Because again, my goal isn't to try to keep big predators or big animals out. It's just to simply keep the chickens in place. All right, let's hook you up with some water.
And some feed. So obviously you guys can't do the side-by-side comparison right now, but these gals are 3-4 times the size of the weird chickens, and so that's why the weird chickens are so likely to get plucked on. I mean, especially the biggest of them. All right, let's see what we got for eggs here this morning. We got a couple. So far 2 eggs. Hang them in this basket up here. I'll come back for the rest of them later. As you can see, I've got this one girl who's still putting in some work. I should expect some eggs pretty soon from her. And then you can also see that both of the Moron brothers, who were supposed to be the recipients of those chicken toys that Sarah sent us, they're hanging back. Did you lay an egg yet? Oh, she did. Just now. Wow, look at that. Just out of the chicken. So that Bielenfelder gal right there just dropped this egg. I feel like today is a day to catch up on some of these viewer gifts that you guys have sent us lately. And so I do have something I want to put right here. So last summer, a very kind soul sent us these little tiny raptors pictures, which I absolutely love, and have just been looking for a chance to hang this up here. And since I drove the ATV up today, I figured I might as well bring a couple screws in my driver with me. There we go. I think that looks pretty gosh darn good. Thank you for sending that. Now I guess while we're at it, I should probably figure out how to install this ladder. How does this work? It's like a DNA helix. I don't know, let's try to see if they'll play with it. Okay, so apparently they don't seem all that interested in it, but I don't know. I'll leave it up for a few days and see if they play with it. Personally, I'm not that disappointed because I never had any expectations that they would like it. But what I am disappointed in is that. That, over there. Do you see that? I have all of my cows inside the fence except for Amanda Hug and Kiss yet again. What you doing there, Amanda? You know you're not where you're supposed to be, right? Let's go, girl. Go join the other cow. After my adventure last night, that's not the sight I wanted to see. That said, I am happy to report that everybody else is in place, including Mr. Joey Ramone. How's it going, Joey? How are you doing? So Joey is Annabelle's son. Actually, Bonnie McMurray is Ariel's son. And then Belinda Carlisle is Anna Green Gables' daughter. But you look like some cows who could use some fresh pasture, huh, girl? Let's go. Hey, cows. Come on, cows. Fresh grass, come on. Hey, cows. Let's go. Come. Fresh grass, come on. So my theory is that Amanda Hug and Kiss is the low girl on the totem pole, and she gets pushed around a little bit by the other cows, and so that's how she ends up on the other side of the fence. Is usually she's getting pushed out of here. And so while I like to keep my grazing paddocks tight because it makes the cattle more selective, at least for a couple of weeks, I'm gonna try doing a little bit bigger of a grazing paddock. So this is usually like twice the size of what I give them, in hopes that it keeps everybody in their place. Once I have the whole herd trained and everybody's behaving the way I'd like them to, then I might try experimenting with smaller grazing paddocks again. But at this point, I just can't be chasing cows at every last given second. And particularly with Randy on the other side of the pasture, I don't want to create any oopsie accidents. I mean, for all I know, Amanda Hug and Kiss could have been looking for Amanda Hug and Kiss last night, and she ended up over in Randy's paddock at one point. So I got to be careful. And so I'm going to do less efficient grazing in the name of better, more effective animal management. So often it's about these trade-offs. You know, one thing I was noticing just now, there were like some birds sitting on the wires of our electric fence and they weren't getting shocked. And this is like a question I get from folks all the time. And the reason that a bird can touch the electric fence, yet me or the cattle or Abby, if we hit the electric fence, we get zapped, is because the bird is standing only on the electric wire and it's not touching the ground. You see, our electric fencing wires have multiple grounding rods buried deep into the ground, creating essentially the lowest grounding point. And when we touch the ground, our feet become a connection to the ground, and then that completes the circuit with the electricity. When a bird is just standing on the electric wire, they're not touching the ground, so they're not going to get zapped. But if that bird had 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot on the wire, they would get zapped. And if you got an Abby who has 1 nose on the wire and 4 feet on the ground, she's definitely going to get zapped. I was just coming down the hill and I noticed that the ducks are starting to use their duck drinkers, and it seems like it's working.
So I don't know, I'm gonna keep watching this one. So I don't know, maybe this will work. I'm gonna be a little patient and give this a couple of days and a couple attempts to see if this system works. If it does, I don't know, this could be pretty cool. So I don't know, maybe you should probably stay tuned and click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell and obsessively keep checking our channel page to see when we upload new videos. You're bound to find out what happened eventually. Let loose the goose! I'm coming to feed you, don't you worry, Check up some fresh food. How are my little piggies doing, huh? Everybody's just chowing down, doing good? I think I'm gonna have to build you a second one of these, because I'm starting to run out of space for all three of you at once. They are getting big really quick. Oh boy, welcome to the world, little ones. Hi guys. So it looks to me like these baby birds are done baking, so let's break them out and put them in the brooder. Hi guys. Oh, look at you. You all seem so ready to go, full of life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we got lucky number 10. So yeah, these guys just hatched out. And this was actually one of my smaller hatches. So actually in this batch, I only put 19 eggs in the incubator. And that feels like a really good hatch percentage. And then on top of it all, what happened with the eggs is, you know, after I checked them on like day 9, I had 3 that looked like they were infertile. And so really it's like 10 out of 16 eggs that were fertile hatched. And so I'm very happy about this. All right, here you go. You're gonna go in with your brothers and sisters. So now this batch is gonna basically stay inside now for, I don't know, I'll keep them inside for probably about 3 or 4 days. And then I'll move them outside with all the bigger birds. I've been doing this every week for the last several weeks now. And so far it's worked out really well. And so if you guys just watch this video right here, you'll find out what happened with all of these little baby birds, and should be pretty exciting.